Today it is not included any project right now. Today it is just only to give some, like I can say that it's a building blocks of what is going to be machine learning and why you are going to be learn the machine learning, what exactly that machine learning contains. In our actual course curriculum, in coming weekends, we'll have the workshops. We'll be adding a little bit more and more contents to that actually. In the coming weeks, we'll be getting actually the projects and all these things. Okay, fine. Yes, guys. Fine. Yeah. So let's start the session actually, guys. Good morning, all of you once again. This is Vamsi Krishna. So I was a freelancing trainer related to the data science technologies. And my experience is almost all 18 plus years of experience. My total experience includes around 18 plus years of experience I'm going to be having actually, guys. Okay, fine. Just let me introduce myself. Just I have a small one, just a slide, just one simple slide. So just which will give you the idea about how much experience I'm having. So almost all I'm having some around 18 plus years of experience in software industry, which includes some kind of development support and as well as including the training. So my main specialization actually, guys, my main specialization is going to be handling of large volumes of business data. Mainly my complete specialization is related to the data, completely the data. Why I was able to easily transit from the other technologies to this data science is my 18 years experience is completely with the data itself. So my expertise is on data management, and it is going to be the business intelligence technologies, a big data technologies, data science, machine learning. Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you about that, Sasank. Okay. So is this course is appropriate for biology graduates? What is the bare minimum of maths that we should concentrate on? Absolutely. I will be discussing that in as part of our the introduction classes. So whatever today's introduction is there, in our today's workshop, I'm going to tell you guys. Okay, fine. Let's continue it. Okay, so expertise in data management, business intelligence technologies, and my specialization is also contains the BI, that is going to be the business intelligence, and which is going to be just a minute, guys. Anybody, guys? Anybody has been started the video? I think so. They have started some video. Somebody, just give me a minute, guys. We'll just find it off. Yeah, somebody's video was on. I think Sachin, please stop your video. Yeah, guys. So please, your webcams are on actually, guys. So please just check it out before just logging in. Okay, fine. So this is going to be my expertise actually. So expertise in data management, business intelligence technologies, big data, data science, machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. And I completed my certification program from IIIT Hyderabad. So which is going to be one of the top training program across India. So from IIIT Hyderabad, so I done my certification program on advanced certified training on AI and ML actually. So that is my certification actually, guys. And this is going to be about myself. So I don't want to just do a little bit more discussion. So this is going to be about my discussion actually, guys, about myself actually. Okay. So today's class is going to be, I just want to make it a very easy for you just to have a discussion about that, because so many people are having a doubts. Main questions are going to be, can I learn data science? So can I get a job? So do you have a proper job opportunities? So different people are having a different opinions actually, guys. Different people. Some people think that so data science is basically can require some kind of an expertise or some experience, and some data science people require some lot of maths is going to be required. So there are going to be some different opinions about that. So let me clarify those particular doubts actually, guys. Okay. So I'm not going to be running any presentations for the today's class. So I will be using completely, I'm going to be using completely I'm going to be using my pen tablet. So everything is going to be handwritten. You will be getting just like we'll get some experience like you are sitting in a class only. Just like it is a whiteboard actually, guys. It is going to be my whiteboard. It's my whiteboard software actually, which is come from Microsoft. Using a pen tablet, I'm going to be writing this actually, guys. Everything is in handwritten. Generally, during our classes, I'm going to share you these notebooks also. We are going to be showing it actually, guys. Okay, fine. Fine, guys. So hope all of you can find with this. Before starting the session, any questions from your side, guys? Anyone? Any questions? Just it's a beginning only. Just once you start with that, we can ask the technical questions actually. You have a chat panel is there. You can just use a chat panel, which I can monitor it. Fine, guys. Let's start the session, guys. So the first thing is this course, whatever this particular course curriculum is there, this is going to be what I call it as what we call it as a full stack data science course actually, guys. It's a full stack data science course actually. So what is this full stack data science course? So simple to say that nowadays you see that it is going to be, they're calling it as a full stack. So full stack means nothing but beginning to ending. So starting from the beginning up to the ending, whatever the tools you require in a complete project. So we are going to be discussing each and every point actually, guys. Each and every tool that is required in our data science projects, we are going to be learning actually, guys. I'll tell you those particular tools later, but mainly in our main session, mainly in our data science course, mainly there are three important main technologies are required actually, guys, or some kind of a techniques, whatever we are going to be requiring it actually. One is going to be the machine learning. The second one is going to be nothing but the deep learning. It is going to be nothing but the deep learning, which we are going to call it as an DL, which is going to be deep learning. Everything is in handwritten only, guys. So I don't prefer generally to use it these kind of presentations actually. Presentations are basically for corporate levels. For corporate level trainings, we use a presentations. And the other one is going to be nothing but your artificial intelligence, which is going to be AI. So ML, DL, and AI. These are the three different core areas, main important core areas of this full stack data science course actually, guys. There are some other tools are also going to be there. There are some other technologies or techniques that are going to be required. That I'll discuss it later. But anyhow, these are the main three core components we have to concentrate on that. Anyhow, AI is a little bit higher level. Mostly, that means we work with all the three areas, guys: machine learning, deep learning, and AI. But most of our course is going to be mainly concentrates on this machine learning and deep learning concept actually, guys. 80% of the course is going to be on machine learning and deep learning, and 20% will be having the AI also. Why only 20%? I'll tell you, guys. So it is going to be not that much easy to implement the AI in our normal, this kind of an online trainings, and with our labs, we cannot implement them. We require a little bit, some kind of a robotics labs and all these things that are required to go for AI actually. So that's why we cannot completely implement AI as part of our classes. So mainly our main specialization, even my specialization is also on machine learning and deep learning. ML and AI is going to, ML and DL is going to be my complete specialization. My complete specialization is also related to ML and DL actually, guys. Okay. I'll just give you some ideas actually, guys. Right now, I'm not going to, in our today's class, we don't discuss much about the AI, but I'm going to discuss about what is machine learning and what is deep learning actually, guys. What is a machine learning and what is a deep learning? If you have any questions, guys, you can use a chat panel and I can just monitor the questions and I can just answer them. If you have any questions, you can just use a chat panel. At the end of the session, you can speak one by one, you can speak if anybody wants to speak. Okay. So first important thing here is, guys, you have to first learn what is machine learning. What is machine learning? Without learning the machine learning, you cannot understand what is going to be deep learning, or we cannot understand what is AI, because actually the hierarchy here is like this actually, guys. AI contains machine learning. This is actually the hierarchical actually, guys. Their hierarchy is going to be like this. DL is a part of ML is a part of AI. But first we have to start with machine learning. Inside the machine learning, then we'll study the deep learning. And combinedly, we are going to make them as AI. So if we are learning machine learning means we are learning one part of AI only. If you are learning DL means we are going to be learning one part of AI only, guys. So many people are having a different opinions about that. So AI, ML, and DL, all of them are related. DL is a subset of ML. ML is a subset of the AI actually, guys. That is what exactly the hierarchy actually. But though it is going to be ML, DL is a part of ML, we don't start with the DL. We'll start first of all, what is machine learning? Inside the machine learning, we will be learning a DL actually, guys. Inside the ML, we'll start with ML, the basics of ML. Inside the ML, we'll go for the DL actually. Then all these are part of AI course only. So don't think that ML means it is something different. ML is also part of AI, DL is also part of AI actually. Okay. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, yes, absolutely that is going to be required. That is also I'm going to discuss about that, Shashank. Okay, fine. So today's the discussion here is what is going to be machine learning actually, guys. What is machine learning? So coming to the machine learning, the name itself is going to be suggesting that. The name itself is suggesting that machines, observe carefully guys, machine learning means we don't learn from the machine. Machines learns. Machines are going to learn actually, guys. Machine learning is very simple. In an easy way to understand that, machine learning is a quite very closer to something relevant to like a human learning only, guys. So as a kid or as a students, how we have been learned in our schools and colleges, machines also will be having, machines are having also capability to learn. It was not a new thought actually, guys. It was started almost all in 1959. Almost all, it is going to be started around in 1959 actually, guys. In 1959 only, this machine learning was started. So initially the people, the experts has thought, can the machines can learn by themselves? Can the machines can learn? After a thorough research, after a lot of research they have been got done. So they have found out that yes, machines can learn by themselves. Machines are intelligent to learn by themselves. Before that, our thought is nothing but machines can only just based on the program we write, machines are going to be gets working. But after that, what the experts has thought is why only a machine should be instructed from a user. Why don't the machines can learn by themselves? After a thorough research, starting from the basics to advanced level, the experts has found out that machines also can learn actually, guys, just like your human learning actually. But they require some kind of a training is going to be gets required actually, guys. Some kind of a training is going to be required actually. So initially the people, even you people also, all the participants who are been starting, that means who are having a planning to start the data science, before starting the session, they may be worrying about that. So really will machines will learn? Yes, absolutely the machines will learn actually, guys. Machines are capable to learn. If we give some kind of a proper training, directly they can't learn them actually, guys. With some proper training is going to be required actually. So for example, in a class of 50 students are there. In a class of 50 students are there. Everybody is going to be given some training. But some students' performance is good, some student performance is poor, some student performance is going to be average. Just like same as it is, some machines can learn very effectively. Some machines little bit average, some machines are going to be poor. So how can you decide? That we discuss it later. So we first has to accept that machines can learn, but with some proper training is going to be required. If you train it, simple to understand, here I was the teacher and the machine is going to be the student actually. If I give a proper training to the machine, machines can learn actually, guys. How it will learn, I'll tell you later. First of all, why do you require, what is machine learning basically, guys? In a simple way to understand that, machines can learn, but how it has to learn actually? As I'm saying that some proper training is required. Sir, how do you give the training to the machine? It is going to be the training is given with your past data. With your past data actually, guys. That means what you have identified earlier. If you can give me your past data, from that data, I can study, I can understand, I can learn something from that. And based on that, I'm going to do some kind of a prediction. So simple to understand that machine learning is a part of which exactly it is going to be doing is going to be, actually my tablet was not properly working, I think. Just a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. Yeah. It is going to be some kind of what we are going to do is, which is going to be some kind of a predictive analysis actually, guys. That means some analysis for doing some kind of a prediction actually. The main task given to a machine learning or a data science is for nothing but prediction actually, guys. That's why we call it as a predictive analysis, what we are going to call it as. Sir, what do you mean to say predictive analysis? Simple to understand. I'll give you one small, just an example actually. Let us observe carefully, guys. There is a bank is there. So the bank is having some kind of an loans department is there. So as you see there, the loans department. So in a bank, we have a loans department is there. They're giving the loans to various customers. They're giving the loans to the various customers actually, guys. But what is happening after giving the loan? After doing a lot of verification, after all the verification has been done, the bank has given the loan. But after giving the loan, after 1 year or after 2 years of paying the EMIs promptly, they stopped paying the EMIs. So the people who do not pay the EMIs promptly, generally we call them as a defaulters actually. And who are paying the EMIs promptly, they are the non-defaulters actually. So my bank is having a set of defaulters and non-defaulters. A set of defaulters and non-defaulters, we are going to be having it actually, guys. A defaulters and non-defaulters, we are having it actually. So the bank is having some defaulters. As you know that defaulters are going to be make some losses to the banks because they have taken some money and they have been not paying the EMIs promptly actually, guys. Yeah, and somebody's mic was on. So please, can you check it out? Please unmute your mic. Yeah, just give me a minute, guys. Yeah, fine, guys. So defaulters and non-defaulters are there. So the bank is having a lot of defaulters and non-defaulters are coming actually. So these defaulters are contributing a loss to our bank. These are going to be the losses. The main losses in a bank is due to the defaulters actually. So what the bank has thought is, as usually we know that, when do you come to know that whether the person or a customer is a defaulter or not? After the loan has been given, after the loan has been given, after he started the repayment of the loan, then only we'll come to know that whether he was a defaulter or not. So before giving the loan, obviously the bank will check whether he is having a capability to repay the loans or not. They will verify all the CIBIL scores, their salaries, or what kind of an house they are staying. There are some lot of information will be there actually, guys. So what the bank has thought is, we are coming to know whether he was a defaulter or a non-defaulter only after payment of after giving the loan. Why don't you predict? That means what is the chances that you can identify before giving the loan itself? That means what the bank wants to do is, before giving the loan itself, they want to have some estimation. Like these people can be a chances of defaulter. These people are chances are going to be non-defaulters. Why don't you have that kind of a predictions? Prediction means it is not just like tossing the coin. If it is a head, give the loss or give the loan. Or if it is going to be head, it is not. It's not like a random experiment like this actually, guys. So the bank people already having a lot of customers data is there. These are our past customers data actually, guys. These are your past customers data. And we all of you know them, guys. We are currently living in the age of data. Our current living is going to be, we are living in the age of data age actually, guys. For everything, data is important for us. Nowadays, everything, every business is running on the data actually. So we have a lot of past customers data is there. Sir, why not this done in earlier, some 10 years before, 20 years before? I'll tell you that at that time, we don't have a proper systems to handle this kind of a large volumes of data. Because in real applications, the data is a very, very large. Some years before, some decades before, just 2 decades before, we don't have that much computing power of your systems. After the cloud has came and some big data systems for analysis. So these has brought all these changes, tremendous changes actually, guys. As I told you, in 1959 only the machine learning, the research has been started. But why it was successful only in the recent years actually? It is due to some kind of an computing power of your system. That is the main, brought that particular changes in our technology actually. It is going to be processing a very large and huge volumes of data. That has brought these particular differences actually, guys. Okay. So we have some past customers data is there. Like we have a age of the customer. What is the salary of the customer? We are having some kind of a past customers means we already know them. They are defaulters or there are non-defaulters, whether he was a married or not, what is going to be the gender of the customer, so and so will be there. And we already have an idea whether he was a defaulter or whether he is a non-defaulter. What is the status? What is the status actually? He's not paying the EMS promptly. So we already marked him as a defaulter. He completed his loan, and without having any delays, he is a non-defaulter. So like this, we already have some information about past customer, what has been happened. This is generally what we call it as our experience. What is your experience actually? It is going to be what is your experience actually, guys. So what you have been already experienced, what you already know about them, that is what the past customers data is there with us. Now, what the bank people thought is, why don't you analyze this data? Why don't you analyze this data? And why can't you get some kind of an insights? That means some information. If you try to skew your data, if you try to study your data, a lot of information will come actually, guys. You really get a lot of information. So data, we completely now, for everything, data is important, guys. Data is giving a lot of stories to you. It is going to tell you a lot of stories to us actually, guys. If I correctly skew the data, if you correctly form that particular data, you will be getting a lot of information and a lot of knowledge and a lot of insights will come actually. So the bank people also thought the same way. Why don't you analyze this data? Why don't you study this data? Based on that particular study, we get some kind of an information, like who could be the defaulters, who could be the non-defaulters. Some kind of an analytics has to be gets done. So earlier days, these used to be given to statisticians actually, guys. Basically, statisticians are going to do this kind of an analysis actually, because we know what is statistics about. Statistics is nothing but playing with the data. Understanding your data is going to be done by the statisticians actually, guys. Mathematicians are different, statisticians are different. Mathematicians are going to be nothing but how to solve a problem with a mathematical formula. Statisticians, their case studies are going to be nothing but understanding the data, how the population is growing, how the economy is changing, how the salaries are going to be changing, or how the disease is affecting. All these are going to be done by statisticians. In earlier days, that has to be given to the statisticians. Statistician used to spend a lot of time actually, guys, some years of time to get some kind of an insight from the data actually. And at the time also, the machines are not that much capable to handle a large volumes of data. Imagine in a bank from the last 10 years, how many loans they have been given, how much data is going to be there actually, guys. But as a normal human, understanding that much millions of crores of billions of data is very hard for them actually. That's why what they have been, they used to take some time. That means they used to take 2 years, 3 years. And even if you see the current trend also actually, guys, every day in newspapers, we'll see a lot of news, research news actually. Some years before, we used to see the research saying that the so-and-so scientist has done 24 years, 25 years research has been got done. He is doing the research from the last 25 years and he has came to a conclusion. But now the trend is changing actually, guys. They are saying that 3 to 4 years data sufficient for us. We really don't require 25 years data. Now with 3-4 years of past data, you can do some kind of a research and they have got it actually, guys. Even our recent, like whenever the COVID pandemic has started, initially the scientists said that, so 18 months it will take to do the research to get a vaccine, to study that particular vaccine performance, minimum it is going to take 18 months of time. But within 6 months of pandemic, we have got the vaccine actually, guys. Within 6 months, we have got the vaccine from Russia. How it has been got done? It is a computing power of the systems. Mainly it has been done. So almost all 1/3 of the time actually, guys. Previously, they used to do a research for 20, 25 years. Now the research is going to be only for 3 to 4 years data. We can do some conclusion because that is due to the computing power of our systems. Mainly the cloud has brought a lot of tremendous changes in our technology, guys. The cloud is one of the currently the major technology which is ruling the world actually. Everywhere there is a cloud is there. Okay. So statistician used to get some insights, and based on that particular insights, they used to say that, okay, these are the defaulters, these are the non-defaulters. So if the person characteristics is like this, he could be a defaulter. If the person characteristics is like this, that could be a defaulters. But whenever a statistician use this, as you know that it is going to be time consumption actually, guys. It is going to be time consuming, and that is not going to be not that much accurate also. It is not highly accurate. They may be accurate, but it is not going to be highly, it is not accurate actually, guys. Maybe As a human, 80-85% you can do it accurately, guys, but it cannot be 100% accurate. So the same task which was earlier done by the statisticians, now what we are doing here is, guys, the same past data that is given to the machines actually, guys. That was given to machines. Machine is nothing but our computer. How to give, I'll tell you. So the data was given to the machines. Machines are going to understand the data actually, guys. Machines will learn the data actually. So the machines are saying that you give your experience in a format of data. Everything I require only the data only, guys. Without the data, I can't study them. If you give me the data, based on that particular data, we can study, and whatever we have been got studied, that data, I'm going to give you the insights, and based on the insights, we can do the prediction actually, guys. It is going to be doing the prediction. That's the simplest understanding about what is machine learning. So give some data to the machine, guys. Any data you give, whatever the data you give it, you can give it actually, guys. Give the data to the machines. Machines will study the data. Whatever it has been got studied, that understanding is nothing but what we call it as insight. Insight is nothing but what we call it as knowledge. What do you understood from that particular data? That is going to be what we call it as insights. And based on this knowledge, I can do the prediction actually, guys. That is what exactly my machine learning says. Any kind of a task, like for example, let us talk about the defaulters. You give me who is the defaulters and who is the non-defaulters. You tell me your past customers data. I'll study them. So I can study them and I can tell you who could be the defaulter and who could be the non-defaulter. I can tell you the application. So for some people, you may not have the idea behind them. Only you have to imagine but it is not like practically like a programming language actually, guys. It's something different from programming language. So for some people, it is going to be completely, the imagination is also 0% imagination. You cannot even imagine how it will work actually. Once you start with practical, you will get some practical application, guys. Today, I'll show you just a small toy example. I'm not going to take a big example, a real example, but with a small toy data set only, I'll just show you how it is going to be gets working. So data was given to the machines. Machines are going to find out some kind of an insights. How it will learn, I'll tell you, guys. Based on the insights, we can do the prediction actually. Like as I can say that, who is going to be the defaulter, non-defaulter predictions. In medical diagnosis actually, guys, mainly nowadays, we are using mostly in the medical diagnosis actually. In medical diagnosis, you can train a machine. There are so many AI-based systems are there actually, guys. In medical diagnosis, if you give some symptoms, what kind of a symptoms that particular patient is feeling actually, based on that, we can go for a diagnosis. So the machines can say, this is going to be the diagnosis of this particular one, like COVID cases actually. If these are the symptoms, we have been already studied the past patients' data actually. We already studied them. If you give me the symptoms, I'm going to do the diagnosis. So-and-so cancer or whether non-cancer, or whether it is a heart attack or whether it is going to be non-heart attacks, something like that. The medical is going to be getting a lot of usefulness, a lot of advantage in the medical diagnosis actually, guys. Not only that, in case of the business scenarios, as already talking about the business scenarios, guys. So when I talk about the business scenarios, mostly as part of the banking, financial, banking, insurance. So identifying whether it is the false claim or whether it is going to be genuine claim actually. Investments. So the investment recommendations actually, guys. All these are going to be just comes under some kind of a machine learning applications. So if you invest this much amount on this particular company, this could be expected the profit what we can get it actually. So how it is going to be done, guys, based on the past experience. So the machines will study the stock price of the particular company over the time period. And based on that, it is going to predict next 1 year, this could be the price of the stock market, or after 2 years, this could be the price of the stock price. Something like that, almost all in medical, diagnosis, life sciences, research actually, guys. A lot of research is going on actually, guys. Actually, if you can't imagine, guys, you can't just imagine what a machine learning or what a data science can do or what this AI systems can do actually. So slowly we'll understand them, guys. In first class itself, I tell you the higher level, you maybe gets confused with that. Once topic by topic, we'll discuss about them. Right now, my topic is machine learning actually, guys. My current discussion is going to be machine learning. So simply what my machine is saying is, tell me what has been happened in the past. Tell me what has been happened in the past. If these are the symptoms, this is positive. These are the symptoms, these are the negatives. You give me the data. I'll study those characteristics. I will understand the data. Based on that, I can predict. In future, if you give me the symptoms, I'm going to tell you who could be the defaulter and who could be the, who is a positive and who is going to be the negative. I can explain it in the coming class. In the coming future, I can explain that. That is what exactly these machines are going to say that actually, guys. Then you will get it out saying that in research also, guys, in a lot of life sciences, you can say life sciences of anything. It can be life sciences, or it can be something like in physics, chemistry, anywhere. It can be some kind of the experiments, whatever the research they are doing, they have their own data actually, guys. So if you want to do some kind of a prediction, if this is a information or if this is a data generated, what could be the outcome of the research actually? So some kind of a research we can do this actually, guys. Almost all anywhere, almost all in every area, we are having this data science actually, guys. In our real life also, every day we are going to be using some AI-based systems actually, guys. We are having a lot of AI-based systems actually. A simple example, guys. Whenever we are taking a photo from your camera, from your mobile camera, it will identify where is the face is there. Where is the face is there, it will tell you, guys. It is an AI system actually. It is an AI system. Today I'll show you the practical implementation. How to detect the face inside a particular, how to detect a face inside an image, how it will identify actually, guys. It's a simple deep learning application, which we also do it practically in our classes. We also do the practical application. We don't know that that is a part of AI actually, guys. Simply, whenever we are typing the mobile, when you are chatting, what could be the next coming word? What is the next coming word? So that is going to be an AI system actually, guys. So learning a data science is not that much easy actually, guys. Mainly a lot of patience is required. A lot of patience is required actually, guys. So if you talk to a person who is going to be working on this data science and machine learning, they really will have a lot of patience actually, because a lot to learn, a lot to research, a lot to learn and a lot to research. A lot of research is required. Based on that, we have to learn it actually, guys. Then the main question comes here is, sir, if the data is given to the machine, if machines can study them, then what is our work here now? You are giving the data to the machine, but the machine is going to be directly studies the data and machine can do the prediction. Then what is our work actually here, guys? The main our work is going to be, there is a lot of processes there actually, guys. Whatever the process I'm going to tell you is going to be the same for any data science project actually, guys. For any data science project, that is concept is the same actually. Okay, quickly I'm going to tell you guys what are the main techniques that are going to be required actually. I'm not talking about technologies. The main technique that is going to be required actually, guys. First one is going to be, machines can't read the data automatically. So first of all, we have to learn a technique called as how to do the data import. So importing the data, or what we can say that is a data loading actually, guys. Who is going to do that? Manually, we have to do it actually, guys. How do you do the data loading? Sir, what is the technique in data loading? Absolutely, guys. When you go to real time, all the data will not be in the same format. There are different formats will be there. Sometimes the data will be a CSV file. Sometimes a data is going to be nothing but an Excel sheet. Sometimes your data is going to be an image actually, guys. Sometimes your data is going to be an image actually, guys. Sometimes your data may be an audio. Sometimes your data may be a text, whatever it can be there. It can be a text data actually. So it may be a CSV file. It may be an Excel sheet. It may be an image. It may be an audio, or it may be a text. So first of all, you should be having an expertise called as, how do you load the data actually, guys? How do you load the data? Once again, guys, image means we all of you know that image is nothing but just like a photograph. If I show a photograph, for a normal person, it is going to be the photograph of a person or a landscape or an animal or something like this. But for our machine learner people, for our machine learning or deep learning experts, image is a data. Audio is a data. Text is a data. Everything is a data for us, guys. You may be worried about, sir, how the image can contain data. Yes, image is only just made up of numbers. Your images are going to be just made up of numbers actually, guys. So I'll show you some practical images, just a small images I'll show you. For a normal person, this is going to be just an image actually, guys. There are some images are there. I just show you some image, just a small image. For a normal people, this is going to be just an image actually, guys. But for ourselves, for our people, it is not an image. For me, it is only just a numbers. That is only just a numbers actually for me. It is not an image actually for me. It contains internally, if I go there and read the data, it is going to be gets contain some kind of a numbers it contains. I think all of you have an idea about this, guys. So what is the numbers in the images actually, guys? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone having the idea, guys? What are the numbers in the images? Yes, use a chat panel actually, guys. No. What are the numbers in an image? Absolutely. It is pixels. It is going to be nothing but the pixels actually, guys. Okay. Again, it can be zeros and ones. It may not be zeros and ones also, guys, because coming to the images, we have a different types of images are there. So we call it as a color images, which is going to be RGB images and nothing but a grayscale images actually, guys. Generally, don't worry about them. Later we discuss about them. The values can be a value between 0 to 255 actually, guys. It can be also from 0 to 1 also, but the values are going to be between 0 to 255. What are those? We'll discuss it later. Audio also contains some numbers. Text also contains some numbers. Everything is going to be contain some data actually, guys. Some data will be there. Everything is a data for us. Okay. So first of all, we have to do some kind of a data loading. Sir, how do you do the data loading? As I told you, every data will not be of same format. And in real time, your data will not be comes in a clean format actually, guys. We don't get any clean format. Sometimes some raw formatted files will come. Some data will be in a raw format. So you should be an expertise in understanding that particular data. So loading the data in a proper format actually, guys. Next one. After loading the data, we have to do some kind of a data analytics. We have to do some kind of a data analytics, guys, to understand how is our data actually. So just to understand how is the data, we are not understanding about what is your data. How is the data only, we have to understand them, guys. There are some kind of some statistical and mathematical analytics are there. Some mathematical simple means, medians, okay, modes, standard deviation. We do some kind of an analysis actually, guys. That is what we call it as data analytics. Once you understand once you do the data analytics, we have to understand our data. What are the issues with our data? Is the data is in a proper format or not? We'll study them actually, guys. After that, we do some kind of an data cleansing. All these are going to be the techniques which we have to study them actually, guys. We call it as a data cleansing. It is also done by the user. It is also going to be done by the users. So data analytics, data cleansing, and some kind of a data visualizations. Data visualization is also going to be part of analytics, but that is what we call it as an visually understanding the data. All these are going to be part of, in our machine learning, we call it as an EDA, guys. EDA stands for exploratory data analysis. What we are going to call it as an exploratory data analysis is what we are going to call about them, guys. So visually understanding the data. So we really require to understand that particular data actually, guys. Just for a quick understanding, don't worry about that. I just made one file ready to you just to understand the concept. Don't worry about that. I am just going to show you how this particular code is going to be gets done actually, guys. Just an idea how that particular application is going to be gets working actually. So I'll show you in our classes, it is going to be completely live coding only, guys. In our actual course curriculum, it is live coding, no copy paste, no executing of previous files. But as a beginners, because today is a demo class, I don't want to write all that code. It takes a lot of time for us. Okay, so don't worry about them. Just before the class only, just 5 minutes, I have written this application actually, guys. So don't worry about them. This is going to be, see guys, this is how I'm reading the data from an Excel sheet actually. Yeah, you can contact Naresh, you can contact Durgasoft for the details actually. They will be giving the recording session. Okay, this will be recording right now. Yeah, it is getting recording actually. They will share the recording to your mail IDs. I think so. Okay, fine. So this is going to be, I'm reading the data from an Excel sheet actually, guys. See guys, it is just read_Excel actually. Don't worry about that. Sir, what is this PD actually? So it is nothing but a Python library, because to perform this machine learning or to perform these data science implementations, we require some kind of a language. So the popular language is going to be Python. Anyhow, I'm going to teach you the Python as part of our course curriculum. Some core Python is required actually, guys. So in Python, advantage is there are so many predefined libraries are there actually, guys. We are going to be having so many predefined libraries are going to be there. That means pre-installed libraries are there. Just import the libraries and we are going to do this actually, guys, like this. Can you see? If you are having an idea about Java, import, we are going to be doing the import. If you work with the C language, hash include. Same like that, in our Python also, we have to do some kind of an importing actually, guys. So I'm importing this module, what I'm going to call it as pandas. Pandas as, for example, alias name of PD. Don't worry. This is your data actually, guys. Just I'm loading the data. This is going to be just a toy data set, guys, just to make you give some idea about that. It's small toy data set. So there are going to be some kind of an color of the fruits. What is the sparsity of the fruit? What is the weight of the fruit? And what are the different labels of the fruits? I have some different labels are there. Oranges, apples. We have the data actually, guys. Normally, when you see the data like a textually like this, you can't understand the data. I'm showing the data in a visually, guys. So if you can see the visually, this is nothing but a visual EDA, guys, so that you can understand the data very, very easily. Now I need not to explain the data actually, guys. It is running. Just give me a minute. Just a minute, guys. It is not coming. Just give me a minute once, guys. Okay. For some reason, it is data is not coming actually. That's not a problem. Okay. For the timing, leave it, guys. Just I don't want to make you confused. Just leave it. Does not matter with that. We can do it. It is going to be nothing but some kind of a visual EDA. What we can do that visually, we can see the data actually, guys. Visually, we can see the data actually, guys. Okay, fine. So I'll just check it out because it's having some maybe some problem. I'll just verify that what may be the problem. Okay. So coming to our example, this is going to be nothing but some kind of a data analytics, some kind of a data cleansing, some type of data visualizations. We have to do that actually, guys. After that, we are going to give this data. So all these things should be done by a user, guys. Machines can't do this actually. Machine can't do the analytics. Machines can't do the data cleansing. Machines can't do the data visualizations. That is manually we have to do them. So I have to load the data. I have to analyze the data. I have to clean the data. I have to do the data visualizations. Everything as an ML expert, we have to do them actually, guys. After that, the main part will come actually, guys. The main part is going to be nothing but your training. The machine is going to be given this data. It is going to be nothing but the data, whatever we have been cleaned it in a proper format so that machines can learn it actually, guys. Don't think that machines will directly learn the things. If I give the data direct to the machine, machines can't study them actually, guys. We have to convert. There is a machine's format will be there. If this is in this format only, I can study. Otherwise, I can't learn anything from the data actually. That we'll discuss in our actual classes, guys. The machine is going to be get trained. So the main part is how the machines will be trained actually, guys. How the machines will be trained. So machine is going to be trained with the help of some kind of an algorithm actually, guys. So the main part in a machine learning course is your algorithms actually, guys. Main important is algorithms. So whenever you want to solve this problem, what is your process? That process is defined by the algorithm. We have an idea about an algorithm actually, guys. An algorithm is going to be nothing but a sequence of steps to solve a problem actually. These algorithms are going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as the machine learning algorithms. They are not machine learning or deep learning algorithms, whatever it may be, guys. So either machine learning or a deep learning. In deep learning, we use deep learning algorithms, whereas in machine learning, we use a machine learning algorithms actually. So here in our data science course, the main powerfulness is only this algorithms actually, guys. As I told you, In 1959 only this machine learning was started. But why the success stories has came only from the recently from the past 1 decade or 1.5 decade actually. One is going to be nothing but, as I already told you, which is going to be nothing but a computing power of our systems actually, guys. Machines computing power actually. And after that, there is main advantage is it is going to be some kind of an advanced algorithms has been got developed. And why these advanced algorithms was able to be developed? It is due to the computing power of your machines. Earlier, as you know that guys, some years before, your computers can do only addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions. Beyond that, they can't do anything. Some years before, some 5 or 6 decades before, your computer is only to perform some mathematical operations. Slowly, the changes has been brought actually. The powerfulness has been got increased because it is due to the computing power of the systems actually. So the success stories has came from the recent years because it is due to the machine's computing power as well as there are some advanced algorithms actually, guys. So in our machine learning class, the main important thing we have to study is this study about the algorithms. Some people simply says that data science is a nothing but study of machine learning algorithms. Simple. Data science is nothing but it's one of the part of data science. It's some of the part of a computer science engineering, which is going to be study about the algorithms. That's it. Machine learning algorithms, we are going to study them actually, guys. What is a machine learning algorithm will do? A machine learning algorithm is capable to understand the data, get some insights, and that insights are going to be used for prediction purpose. So this part, whatever the part I have been got discussed, this particular part is going to be nothing but we call it as a training actually, guys. Here the machines are going to be trained with the help of some kind of an algorithms actually. Some kind of an algorithms actually, guys. Okay. So just to get some idea about that, this is my data, just to get some idea actually, guys, who do not have any idea about them. Don't worry about the code. It is going to be a little bit higher level. It's a Jupyter notebook actually, guys, which we are going to use it. Okay. So this is going to be the data. Otherwise, just I'll do one thing. Just let me close this window once. Just let me close my Jupyter notebook. I'll start it one more time. There may be some problem. Just give me 2 minutes of time. I'll restart it one more time. Yeah, guys, let me, I'll come back to that. Okay. So let me open it. I'll explain in the application, guys. Okay. So here the machines are going to be gets trained, but how the training is going to be gets done? It is going to be nothing but done by the machine learning algorithms. So as part of our class, we are going to learn a different types of machine learning algorithms, guys. It is not study about Python or it is not study about R. It's not a programming language, guys. How that particular algorithms are going to be gets working. Every algorithm is going to be works on some mathematical concept actually, guys. Maths and stats will be there actually, guys. So somebody has been asking me, sir, before starting the class, sir, do you require a maths and stats? Absolutely, we require it actually, guys. But it is not a higher level maths and it's not a mandatory also. Why do you require this maths and stats is because if you want to understand how a ML algorithm will work, if you want to understand how a machine learning algorithm will work, we have to understand that particular base maths and stats behind them actually. But we never write a code for writing the mathematical operation actually, guys. If every algorithm is going to be works based on some mathematical topic or a mathematical functionality or a concept. To understand how that algorithm will works, we have to study the maths behind them. We have to understand them, but it is not required to implement it. Each and everything related to our data science, I'm going to explain in the class actually, guys. Whatever the maths and stats is required, everything I'm going to explain the applications. Okay, fine. So there are so many algorithms are there. So some of the popular algorithms is going to be nothing but we have an algorithms actually, guys, like decision trees will work. And we are going to be, so many algorithms are there, guys. Some names are a little bit funny names, but we are going to be using actually, guys. We have something called as, which is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as an AKNN. We are going to be having something called as an NAV base. So we have so many different types of algorithms are there, guys. and we are having some kind of an, which is going to be random forest. So many algorithms are going to be there actually, guys. We have to study how these particular algorithms are going to be gets working. We have something like a boosting. We are having something called as a bagging. Not only that, in coming to the deep learning, guys, we are going to be using neural networks actually. So my complete specialization is on neural networks actually, guys. My complete knowledge, my complete expertise in non-neural networks. I can just train with any kind of a neural networks. We can see that. But neural networks are going to be too early for you because we cannot study that. The neural network itself is a complex network actually, guys, which we discuss it in our later classes actually. So many are there. Not only this, there are going to be so many are there. Support vector machines are there. Coming to regressions, currently you can't understand them, guys. What is regression? What is a linear regression? What is a logistic regression? What is a ridge regression or polynomial regressions? We have a different types of regression models are there. Not only that, we are having something like a clustering algorithms are there, which we are going to be having a k-means, and we are having something called as an association rules. All these are the algorithms which we discuss in our classes actually, guys. And each and every algorithm, what is the math behind them? How the decision tree will works, how the KNN works, how the Navi base works, something like this. Okay. For a quick understanding, I'll show you the example, guys. I think this time it will works. Don't worry about them. I'm just going to show you some kind of an application actually, guys. Just for a quick understanding, how the machines will learn. We really don't write a long, lengthy codes. We don't write a lengthy codes. We don't write it actually, guys. We really don't write a lengthy codes actually. Simply, we are going to be importing that particular modules. Those things only we are going to be doing this actually, guys. Don't worry about them. Here I'm going to be using a pandas, basically for reading the data from Excel sheets. So there is going to be a plotly. So there is going to be plotly, which is going to be nothing but one data visualization tool. sklearn, which is basically used for machine learning application, guys, which stands for scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is basically for machine learning applications. We do them actually, guys. You can see there is a decision tree classifier will be there. It is going to be done from the trees. Don't worry about them, guys. This is my fruits data set. I'm asking the machine. See, guys, I'm giving some training to the machine. If this is a sparsity and this is a weight and these are the fruits, can you predict? That means, is it possible for you to identify what type of a fruit it is going to be if I given you the sparsity and the weight actually, guys? So it is something like a simple mathematics only, guys. I'm giving sparsity and the weight is going to be my data, and my target, whatever I want to predict, is going to be labels. Don't worry about this code. I'll explain the code actually later actually, guys. So now I'm trying to plot the data. I think some problem has came earlier. I think now it will works. Let us verify it. I just don't want to show you an application. Absolutely, guys. So I think so, guys, using the text data, you can't understand it here now. Here you can understand the data actually, guys. Can you see, guys? All these red colors are going to be nothing but, you can see them, guys. All these red colors are going to be nothing but apples. On the right hand side, we can see it is an apple actually. And all the blue color data points, whatever we can see, there are going to be nothing but oranges actually. We have some sparsity and we have some weight is there. So very clearly, we can able to study them actually, guys. Can you study the data? Yes, we can study the data. If you observe carefully, the oranges are having higher sparsities and they're having lower weights, whereas apples are having higher weights and they're having a lower sparsities. Up to some extent, this is a toy data set actually, guys, because we can small data set, we can understand it easily. Same data I'm giving to the machine actually, guys. Don't worry about this code. A small lines of code I'm going to be giving it actually, guys. So if you can observe carefully, this is what the machine has been studied actually, guys. So if you see the code actually, guys, nothing code is there. Just a one line code is there actually, guys. Can observe carefully, guys. I think anybody, even if you're not expertise in data science, you can easily understand them actually, guys. Don't worry about these numbers. If the weight is less than or equals to 150.5, if your answer is yes, come here. If your answer is no, go here, guys. If the weight is more than 150.5, it is going to be, it studied the data actually, guys. And the machine is saying that what I have been studied from this data here is, if the weight is more than 150.5, 100% it is going to be nothing but they are apples actually, guys. You can see here, more than 150, if I draw a line at 150, more than 150 is no doubt it is going to be in apples actually. If it is less than 150, if you can see here, guys, if it is less than 150, I have some apples, I have some oranges are there. It is saying that something like sparsity, if you can see guys, sparsity is nothing but how much spherical it is. If it is almost a less than 0.8, it is going to be apple. If it is more than 0.8, it is an oranges guys. Can you easily identify them? It's a very tall data set actually guys. Even you can also study the data. If it is more than 150, it is an apple. If it is less than 150, I can't say it is an oranges because there are both apples and both oranges are there. Sparsity less than 0.8 is going to be an apples. Sparsity more than 0.8 is an oranges actually guys. The same thing it is telling in a tree format. This is what I call it as a decision trees. Why it is called as a decision tree, we can understand them guys. Because the outcome is going to be something looks like a tree actually guys. That's why we are going to call it as a decision tree algorithms. I just already executed guys. If you want, we can see the data actually guys. Same data in a normal, just like an if and else if condition, it is telling actually guys. I didn't return any code. If you observe carefully guys, just I'm calling a function export underscore text. To build this tree, I didn't return any lengthy code actually guys. Only one line of code, plot underscore tree. To train the machine, I used a model called as clf.fit, clf.score. How much accurately it is predicting guys? 100% accurately it is going to be the prediction actually. This is what I am going to be doing this actually. And this is what my final conclusion actually guys. What is your actual labels? What are your predicted labels? All 7 apples are predicted as apples. All 8 oranges are predicted as an apples, oranges actually guys. This is what I call it as a confusion matrix. So machine learning is not going to be just like a normal programming language guys. Some kind of a maths and all these things will be there. So the machine is going to be trained with the help of some kind of a machine learning algorithms. So applying a machine learning algorithm is very easy guys. If you see the code, this is where I have been done the training guys. Only just a 2-3 lines of code. But how to understand them? How this particular split is taking place? How the machine is saying that this is the outcome of this? To understand them, we have to understand what is happening internally. So that is what exactly I'll explain it in the actual classes guys. We'll study the main algorithms. Applying an algorithm is very easy guys. Simply if I tell you the code, by hand the code you can apply, but it's not like that. How it is going to be gets working, then only we can control them. Today the accuracy is 100% guys, no doubt. Today the accuracy is going to be 100%. Actually, don't worry about them. Just if you want to make, I can make it application guys. Don't worry about this code. If you can observe carefully guys, the accuracy is only 93% only. That means 93% only your model is working correctly actually guys. Your insights are working correctly. If you can see, you can understand them guys. All 6 apples are predicted correctly as an apples only, but out of the 9 oranges, 1 orange went into apple class. That means machine wrongly predicted that it is an apple actually, but actually it is an orange actually. So 93% only it is an accurately. Then why, how to identify that? That is what we have to do this guys. So once the machine was trained, there is going to be some kind of a model will be created. This is what we call it as an ML model will be created actually guys. So how effectively this ML model is working? This is done by the machine guys. This is the main step where my machine is going to be involved actually. You just specify the algorithm, machine will be gets trained. But how effectively the model is working? That is what we call it as the evaluation of the performance. See guys, I done the performance actually testing guys. This is what we are going to call it as a testing actually. So 90% correct, 100% correct, 93% correct, something like that. It is telling the score. You can see that particular score here actually guys. So currently the score of my model is going to be 93%. The score of my model is going to be 93%. Sometimes it may not be 93% guys. Sometimes it may be more than 93. Sometimes it may be less than 93 also guys. Execute it. I'm testing it for multiple times actually guys by taking a different samples. Now it is only 80% it is going to be accurate guys. Why it is only 80% accurate? You can see them guys. 2 apples went into oranges class. That means out of the 7 apples, 5 apples are correctly identified as an apples only, but 2 apples are wrongly identified as an orange. Out of the 8 oranges, 7 are correctly classified, but 1 is going to be wrongly classified as an apple actually. This is what I call it as a confusion matrix. Okay. All these things we discuss in our actual course curriculum guys. That is what we are going to call it as evaluation of model performance. This is also done by the user only. And the last step is going to be nothing but we have to improve the model performance.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, for example, sir, how the apple is coming into the orange class? Because
Uh,
we are evaluating weight and some other
Absolutely.
more factors.
Yes, absolutely. But there is some technique is there actually, because what exactly the machine will do is actually you see this, actually you're seeing the total data actually. But in this case, actually you see the data here now, but actually what happened here is I didn't given the total data for my system actually. That is what I have been gotten. Some kind of a splitted the data actually. Training and testing has splitted the data. So when I splitted the data, some of the data points will go to testing, some of the data points will go for training actually. Machine has been learned only from the trained data actually. That means simply to understand them, let us say that a student has been given some a lesson to study. In that, let us say 10 questions are there. 8 questions I will give for training. That means I will explain it in the class, and 2 questions I'm going to give it as a homework actually. So hope you understood that. What is the meaning of that actually?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is what has been happened. I didn't given the entire data set. If I give the entire data set, your accuracy is 100%. But I didn't given the entire data set for the machine actually. Some of the data points I picked it and I have given randomly to that particular sample. That's why sometimes, if you see sometimes it is going to be 100%. Sometimes it is 86%. Sometimes it is going to be 86%. Every time you run, this time it is 100%. It depends on the samples, whatever we are giving for training actually. And this is for the testing samples actually. That is the reason why it has been went wrong actually, because all data points may not be captured for the training actually. That is a mistake what the machine has been got done. Okay.
Okay, okay, right, sir.
Fine. Let's continue it. Okay, don't worry, because for some people it is going to be this one. Some people it is going to be too early to discuss. Okay. Next one is going to be nothing but how do you improve the performance? So mainly how do you improve the performance, guys? If you know how the algorithm works internally, you have to do this actually. Without knowing how the algorithm works, you cannot control that particular algorithm actually. So mainly here the advantage is the algorithms actually, guys. Machine learning means it is not learning about Python. So forget about the Python, guys. It is not a Python class. Then why we learn the Python? Because is to apply this particular machine learning algorithms, we have to use some language. So that language is going to be nothing but it's a Python actually. Whether it is Python or R does not matter with that. So in our course curriculum, you will be getting both training on Python and you also going to be getting a training on R language also. We are going to get it, guys. So my specialty here is, my expertise is both Python as well as R language. So maximum, guys, maximum, that means you talk about the people who works on data science, maximum people will be working on Python only. They don't touch the R language at all, because the person who has been having some expertise in Python, they don't prefer to move to the R actually. But my expertise, that is my specialization, guys. Very few people will be there. Very few people will be there who can be an expertise on both Python and R. That specialization is there with me, guys. I can handle both Python as well as I'm going to be training you on R also. Python and R is going to be quite similar, but slightly change in the format what we are going to doing this. So in our training, there is going to be R classes will be there actually, guys. This R sessions also, we are going to conduct like a workshops on Sundays. That means we don't want to waste our time in spending this extra course curriculum, extra timing on our course curriculum actually. So we will be conducting this R classes as a workshops. So you can attend those workshops for some miscellaneous topics will be there actually, guys. There are so many topics are there actually, guys. Okay, which is going to be nothing but what we are going to be doing. I don't. So Baswaraj, so that is your opinion. So it is going to be myself is going to be. I don't want to comment on your whatever your experience is there, but my commitment will be different actually. Okay, so it is going to be, so everything is going to be nothing but I'm going to discussing about that. So I was having 18 plus years of experience and works for various consultants also. So I work for various institutes also. I works with various consultants. Okay, and it is going to be live coding classes actually, guys. No copy paste. Today's example I just written. I didn't copy it and pasted actually, guys. Just before your session, I just typed that actually. Okay, so I'm going to give you the complete idea about that. So everything is live coding only, no recording classes, Recording classes will be there. Regular classes will be recorded and given to you, but it is not like giving a recording sessions to you and ask you to study from them. No. So there are some miscellaneous topics will be there. Those miscellaneous topics will conduct as a workshops to save our time. Actually, my total course curriculum is going to be 125 sessions actually, guys. So 125 session means it takes more than 5 months of time. It almost all takes 5 months of time. It is going to take it actually, guys. I'll share you the course curriculum in my regular classes. I'll just give you what are the topics we discuss actually. Just I roadmap of what I'm going to do that. So out of this 125 sessions, 25 sessions actually, guys, we will be conducting like a workshops, like something like 3 hours per a day actually, guys, like on Sundays. So 3 hours, if I take it, almost all, if I conduct some around 8 weeks or something like that, those particular 25 classes, 25 sessions will be gets covered. Some miscellaneous topics will be there, guys, like some topics will be there, some miscellaneous topics. Those miscellaneous topics we will be covering in this particular Sundays workshops actually, guys. Like one is going to be using the Microsoft Azure. So using Microsoft Azure for our machine learning actually, guys. So that is going to be one weekend we are going to be gets conducting. Like same as it is, which is going to be the R classes. It is going to be some around 2 weekends we are going to cover it actually, guys, because it will take some around 6 to 7 sessions. It will take it actually. That's why for 2.5 hours and 2.5 hours or 3 hours, 2 weekends, we are going to cover the R languages. And some miscellaneous topics will be there, guys. Like some miscellaneous topics are there, like something like a chatbots. How to develop the chatbots actually, guys. It is going to be just 1 week we are going to be conducting the chatbot developments. So like we are having Power BI. So these are all some kind of a miscellaneous topics actually, guys. So we are going to be covering around some 2 weekends we are going to cover. Like a workshops will conduct it. So a group of people anybody can join them. It's like a free workshop. You can join those particular classes and you can attend the classes actually, guys. Yes, see guys, there is nothing like criteria that you should be a computer science. I told you guys, though it is the data science is a field of one of the subfield of a computer science engineering, anybody who is going to be belongs to any domain, as you are saying that you are from, let us say, B Pharmacy. So as because I was not an expertise in B Pharmacy, so but I know that it is going to be something like clinical, right? B Pharmacy means like something like we are working with the clinical data actually. So you want to develop a machine learning model, so which can predict some clinical outputs, clinical results, or clinical research results actually, analyzing your data. So you know the clinical data are going to be there. So a lot of research clinical data is there. Do you want to analyze them? You can use this actually. You really don't require any, I think you can see them, guys. This is a code what I have been got written actually. So yes, we'll get a course completion certification from Durgasoft. You will be getting a course completion certificate actually. Yes, I'll share you the syllabus also. Anyhow, there is I didn't remember. Okay, so Durgasoft is going to send you the mails actually. As part of their mails, they are going to send you the course curriculum along with their actually the course curriculum is already there on the website. But my course contents are going to be little bit beyond them also actually, guys. Yes, we'll be working on actual projects also. So just for a quick understanding, I'm going to give you my sessions actually, guys. Just a quick questions are coming actually, guys. Just give me another 15 minutes of time. I will just discuss them actually. I'll discuss them. So these are going to be my complete course curriculum actually, guys. So number of sessions, as already told you, which is going to be duration is totally 125 sessions are there actually, guys. So core Python, I'm going to be discussing around 12 sessions actually, guys. So we are going to be, whatever the topics you require actually, guys, I'm talking about them. NumPy is going to be of 5 days. Pandas is going to be working on 12 days, guys. Data visualization will work on 6 days. Machine learning, we are going to be working on 31 days, guys. Deep learning is going to be part of which is going to be 22 days. Mainly here only the main course contents is there actually, guys. As I told you, you will be getting an R language, which is going to be of 7 days. NLP, which is going to be of 7 days, we are going to be working. Plotly and dashboard, which is going to be of 7 days. Hadoop and Spark, even big data systems, we are going to be working for 4 days. Chatbots, we are going to be working with the 4 days. The Azure ML, which is going to be for 4 days. Power BI, we are going to be working for 4 days actually, guys. Not only in this, there are some other contents are also there, which I don't discuss. Each and every course completion actually, guys. It is going to be like this actually. You will be sharing these details also, guys. So like how many lab assignments will be there? What are going to be your POCs for your assignment actually, guys? So every day to day, these are going to be my course curriculums actually, guys. So these are my visualizations. In visualizations, we use all of them actually, guys. We use as a Matplotlib. We are going to use a Seaborn. We are going to be using Bouquet. Multiple application, guys. Machine learning. These are going to be completely my machine learning classes actually, guys. The complete course curriculum subjects, which is going to be, I told you, which is going to be decision trees. What is a case study? So applying the decision tree algorithms with real data sets actually. For every algorithm, we are going to be discussing about with the real data sets only, we are going to be gets working actually, guys. The R language, this is going to be some kind of an R language actually. We'll work with them. Coming to the deep learning actually, guys. 22 sessions are from deep learning actually. Yes, time series also will be there. Yes, absolutely. So these are going to be all part of which is going to be the which is going to be nothing but my deep learning models actually, guys. Deep learning models are very interesting actually, guys. NLPs, Plotlies and dashboards, Apache, Hadoop and Sparks, chatbots, Azure ML. How do you work with them? How do you work with Azure ML? And this is going to be my Power BI applications. Yeah, it's going to be Python actually, guys. How a Java developer can go into ML. See, Priya, it is going to be, it can be any cloud services. So Azure, AWS, Google, we are having multiple cloud services. You can use any one of them. So almost all the concept is the same. Any cloud services is going to be the same actually, guys. Only thing is we cannot discuss. We are not discussing about AWS and Azure development actually, guys. In Azure related to machine learning, whatever is required, that is what we are going to be discussing actually. Okay. Related to ML only we are going to be discussing. AWS is nothing but another cloud services from Amazon. Google Cloud Platform, GCP is from the Google, it's a Google Cloud Platform. We have multiple cloud platforms are there. So we are going to be using some kind of a cloud APIs we are going to be using. Yes, what is the connection between this course and industry standards? Sasank, fine, your question is going to be a little bit too early to discuss them. Unless and until you start with some applications, some kind of an applications we can do, we are going to be doing this. Now it itself is going to be too early to discuss about that. Okay, fine. So anyhow, what kind of an scenarios within and coming, anyhow, you can attend a demo classes. Our regular classes are going to be starting from tomorrow, which is at 8 p.m. at 8 p.m. IST. So you can just attend some demo classes. I think so 2 or 3 demo classes you can join in that. It's a workshop actually, guys. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with a regular batch at 8 p.m. So you can join that particular batch for a couple of days as a demo classes. In the demo classes, I'm going to tell you about what are the use cases and all these things. I'm going to tell you about that. Okay, fine. And what technology we should learn before to learn data science? Absolutely, Python is required. So I'm going to teach you those Python classes as part of our course curriculum only. It's not too lengthy Python. It is going to be something like whatever the basic Python concepts that is required for your training, those topics I'm going to discuss it actually, guys. Okay. So I think so. I was not sure about that. That has to be get confirmation from the Durgasoft people, which is going to be nothing but they're also going to give you some videos which are going to be related to the Python classes actually. I think so because that has been informed in the website. So you will be given with a recorded videos of Python classes actually, if you want to get more and more exploration about the Python. Okay. So as of now, offline classes are not available as of now. Yes, OOPS knowledge is required. Anyhow, that we have to discuss it. That I will discuss as part of the course curriculum, which is going to be OOPS concept is there. In our class, we can see that OOPS, understanding the OOPS classes, objects and method. Just one class is sufficient for that. Yeah, no doubt, no problem at all, guys. Anybody can learn. Anybody can learn the data science. Data science is not a programming language. It is a mathematical technique, or it is nothing but a mathematical techniques what we are going to be learning actually, guys. Initially, it looks like we are learning Python, but over that time period, it does not looks like a Python actually, guys, because we generally forgot about the Python actually. Just I'll show you one, just one small practical example, guys, just what we can do it in our real applications. Now, offline classes are not available, Kushal, right now, because you know the pandemic, due to some pandemic. Okay, so now the cases are increasing in Hyderabad, so we don't have it actually. Lab assignments means we'll give some assignments. So these are the tasks. Just for an assignment, we are going to be giving this. For your practice, you can practice at home. Normally, lab assignments means you have to do by yourself. Whatever the examples I'm going to show you. So apart from that, you have to do some kind of a POC is what you have to do. Yes, anybody guys. So for example, if you are working in electronics field, actually, anywhere, wherever there is a data is there, guys, you can work with them. Yes, those are all mainly the ML and DL is going to be the main topics actually, guys. Vaibhav. Remaining topics are going to be additional. That means there are going to be at some 7 days or 4 days, 5 days. Those are going to be the remaining classes actually. Anyhow, without learning NumPy, Pandas, visualization, we can't go for the machine learning. Machine learning, R language, deep learning, NLP. Up to here, main topics actually, guys. After that, remaining classes are going to be just a small ideas about them. Not completely, we'll go for that. It's a highly difference actually, guys. It's a highly difference actually. I think, I don't know, recently, I have heard a news in Deccan Chronicle. It is going to be this one actually, guys. It's a recent one. I think 1 week before, not even 1 week before also. So this is going to be from, which is going to be from Deccan Chronicle. So this is going to be an article I have been read recently actually. So it is going to be demand for web technologies, artificial intelligence, and machine learning people. So there are going to be very good salaries actually, guys. But see, before starting the class itself, talking about the salary, that is up to how much extent you will learn. That also depends on that. How much practice you can do, how much knowledge you can gain. It depends on all of them actually. Okay. So it is going to be a little bit. That means absolutely everybody will join the course only to get a job. Forget about what is the salary actually. But one thing is guaranteed here is initially the salary may be a little bit less actually, guys, because nowadays a lot of startup companies are there. So many opportunities are there. But 1 year, if we can get an experience, guys, the salary is going to be almost all. We can say that compare with the same experience in other technologies, it will be almost all double the salary you will be getting as part of a data science. If you can show an expertise of 1 year, a real expertise on 1 year actually, guys. So placement assistance will be given, guys. Placement assistance will be given, like all the FAQs, whatever resume preparations, all these things we are going to be giving this actually. Okay. Yes, you will be having a WhatsApp groups will be there. For every batch, there will be WhatsApp groups will be there. So not only during the class duration actually, guys, after the class is completed also, you will be having that particular one. As I told you now, guys, duration is going to be commitment from my side. So the duration is going to be totally 125 sessions will be there actually, guys. So it depends on the class timing. Actually, initially we started at 8 p.m. So my plan is to by 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. is our class timing actually, guys. This is our plan. Okay. So if there is any requirement, that means some people who are there in a different time zones. So maybe I can just adjust it by around 15 minutes. Maybe if anybody is there out of the, if 9:30 p.m. is going to be becoming, maybe if they're working in something like a GMT times. So 9:30 p.m. is going to be very hard for them actually. I think 8 p.m. itself is very hard for them. If any adjustments are there, some around 15 minutes plus or minus 15 minutes, I can do that actually. So 8 p.m. to 9:30 or 8:15 to 9:45 or something, 7:45 to 9:50, something I can adjust the class timings. And coming to the fee structures, you have to call to the Durgasoft people. Okay. So Durgasoft people will get back to you and you can just get the details from them. I think all the contact numbers are there in the Durgasoft website is there. Anyhow, Durgasoft people will send you the mails. So you can just, their commitment, the fees and all these things is commitment from the Durgasoft. And my commitment is only for technical actually, guys. So your maximum course duration will be 4 months, guys. It is 125 sessions, but I told you, some of the classes will take it on Sundays, guys. So you have to attend the Sundays and you need not to worry because these classes will be going on regularly. If you miss the R sessions for this week, you can join in the other sessions because these 4 or 5 topics will be repeated actually. Like R, chatbots, Power BI, Azure, some topics will be repeating actually. Okay. Yes. In the last, not only in the last, after ML, we'll be starting preparation of your resumes actually, guys. After ML, we can start with that. After ML, I can start with the resume preparations. And there are so many online resources are also there. And one thing I can say is, guys, learning this particular data science is a time consumption. It's a time taking. You require a lot of patience. You have to dedicate some time actually for practice. Next thing is, apart from my course fees, apart from the course fees which you pay to the Durgasoft, you have to spend some extra bucks also. Some extra bucks. Like if you want to work with Azure, you have to spend some money actually, guys. Because with free of cost also we can get it. But if you want to work with completely, you have to spend some money actually. You have to spend some money. Not that much. Maybe on an average, if you can see, extra you have to spend some around another 5K. Another 5K, it is only up to your interest. It is another 5K you have to be paying extra. It is for this one, or it may be for some other resources. I'll tell you. Some other resources also I'll tell you. You have to pay the money for them actually. Because you can get it at a free of cost also. Free of cost means only limited features. If you pay some extra 5,000, you will be getting more and more features we are going to be getting actually, guys. Okay. First you work with free. I don't say that immediately how to pay this 5K extra. I'll tell you that if you are not satisfied with that, you have to just pay a little bit more, 5K. It's not at a time, guys. It may be month by month, you can pay them. That means on an average, it is 1,000 per a month. On an average, you have to pay extra actually, guys. That is up to you. That is only online resources that you are not going to pay to me and you are not going to pay to Durgasoft. It is for buying of Azure accounts or some kind of an online resources. I'll tell you, if you want to buy them, you have to pay some extra money for that. You have to spend. You need not to pay me. You have to spend some extra money actually, guys. Yes, Pavitra, I think so. Durgasoft is going to be sharing you every day-to-day recording sessions to you. So that will be available in the Google Drive. I think I was not sure about that. How much is the time limit they will be having? So I think that initially I know that it is for 6 months of time. After your course is completed, 6 months you can access that particular videos. Okay, fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, how we can work with different types of data, sir? Like we have stock market data, like hospital data.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We will not be aware about all types of data and which things are more important in that data.
Yes, absolutely. We'll work with the different data set. I think you have an idea about public data sets now. Do you have the idea?
No,
you don't
sir.
have any. Okay. So as you know that for our data science course, mainly we are going to be that is what I'm going to tell you, Sisang. So we are going to be having a lot of online resources are there. You need not to pay the money. There are a lot of resources are there. So one is going to be this one actually, guys. One is Kaggle. This will be there in my this one only. We can see that this is going to be Kaggle data sets. So these are going to be some of the online platforms actually, guys, where you are going to be getting all the data sets, whatever you require. A lot of data sets actually, images, videos, okay, COVID cases, everything what we can see that actually. There are a lot of online resources are there like this, guys. Kaggle is there, a Gapminder. These are some of the popular online resources where we can get the data sets actually. These are all the different types of what we can say that the online resources which we can get from the data sets actually. So it is up to your interest. What is your interested area? Do you want to work with sports? Do you want to work with some economy? Do you want to work with populations? So all these are going to be the different areas what we can see that. These are your indicators actually. You can work with your data sets actually. Population data sets. You will be having the population data sets actually. If you just want to get, you can get across the years, whatever the data sets are going to be there. Yeah, so Durgasoft people are saying us, guys, regarding course details, you will be getting the mail from the Durgasoft actually, as well as fees, the fees details also, they'll share you the details. These are going to be some of the data sets, guys. If you want to get some images and etc., that also we can get it actually, guys. So we are having a lot of research. So learning a data science is like a research actually, guys. You know what is a research? Self-learning. It is going to be something like a self-learning, guys. One thing I'll say is, guys, learning a data science is not completely from my side. It is going to be your self-learning also, because there are so much things are going to be learned actually, guys. Okay. So they shared the details of Durgasoft contact numbers, guys. You can just contact them for the further details. This is going to be some data sets of images actually, guys. These are the faces images actually, which we do it in deep learning. So from the face images, we have to make the machine to learn. Actually, I told you about machine learning only, guys. When you go to the deep learning, you will be learning from images actually. So previously I told you about oranges and apples predictions. But here from the images, whether it is a male or whether it is a female, whether the person is smiling or whether the person is angry, So whether the person belongs to a white, whether it belongs to a black. So we do that kind of an applications actually, guys. These are going to be some of the data sets which we are going to be using actually, guys. There are so many online resources are there from where we have to get the data set actually. Okay. Yeah, we'll be having contact on WhatsApp. You will be having all the groups will be there actually, guys. We'll be having a groups. As I told you, not only during the course duration actually, guys. After the course completion also the groups will be there. Almost all will maintain for 1 year, something like that. We can maintain them actually. If you have any questions, even after the course is completed also, you can just discuss. It is only for our knowledge sharing, for sharing the materials, for sharing the PDFs, or for sharing the blogs. I'll share the blogs very frequently actually, guys. So whenever you have to read some blogs, I'm going to share the blogs through the WhatsApp numbers only. Yep. Yeah, you can contact them directly. You can contact directly to the call. You can call them or you can contact on WhatsApp. Okay, fine, guys. So anyhow, guys, this is going to be just an about my course, whatever my course curriculum and what I'm going to discuss. Coming to the deep learning is, guys, deep learning is a little bit higher level. So just for a small application, I'm going to show you one small application, guys. Just how to identify, just see, don't worry about the code. This is going to be my code actually, guys. This is my code. I told you now, guys, how to detect the face on the particular image actually, guys. This is a small code. I'm going to write it actually, guys. Just these many lines of code. Only just these many lines of code actually, guys. I didn't written much code also. That's it, guys. This code is going to help you to find out where is the face is going to be there actually, guys. That is what I'm going to do that actually. Don't worry, just I'll show you. I'm just importing some libraries. In Python, guys, everything is going to be readily available. And as I told you now, guys, there are multiple languages are there. You can work with Python. Mainly our specialization is on Python, guys, as well as we are going to be working with the R language. And we are also going to work with some other languages also, guys, like some introductions like Go. And we are having a tool called as a week also, guys. These are some additional tools actually, guys. They are not informed in the course curriculum, but we are also going to do this actually, guys. It's maybe a Go, or it may be Vika, or we are having a language called as in Julia actually, guys. So these are also some of the languages what we are going to be gets working actually, guys. It's only just an understanding, but we don't really work on them. But after the class is completed, after our training program, you will be getting a complete expertise on Python, as well as you will get a complete expertise on R language. So using that, how to apply the machine learning? Mainly these are the machine learning, deep learning, all these things, machine learning, deep learning. So apart from that NLP, we are going to be working with the mainly 3 areas, guys. We'll work with images. Guys. Our main projects contains images, audios, and the text actually, guys. These are the 3 main areas we are going to work with that. Even videos are also there, but videos are going to be a little bit higher level. So we are not going to work with the videos as part of our course curriculum. It requires a little bit expertise actually, guys. So I'm showing the image, whatever the image I have been shown, guys. This is going to be the image actually, guys. Some random image. I can take a different images and I can show you, guys. I'm asking the machine, where is the face was there? It is going to highlight the face actually, guys. Can you see, guys? Around the face, there is a square has came actually. Around the face, the square has came actually, guys. This square, I didn't find it off, guys. Machine is telling me where is the face is there. So where is the face location is there? It is going to be telling by this particular function. If you want, I can show you a random image actually, guys. Some other image I'm going to take it actually. Just another random image actually, guys. Because in every image, the image location will not be the same actually, guys. This is an image actually, guys. A female location, female image. I'm giving that pixels data to the machine. The machine will tell me where is the face is there. The face locations, it will tell you actually, guys. Using the face location, I have drawn the images actually, guys. Can you see? It is going to be around that. We can see a blue color. I don't know whether you can see the blue color or not. Otherwise, I'll draw a red color. I'll draw a red color, guys, which is going to be 255. I'm drawing a red color line actually, guys. I think you can see it clearly. This is going to be a red color line actually. So you can see a red color box is coming around the image actually, guys. Not only that, you can just work with any kind of an images. I'm having some other images there, which is going to be a smile image is there. This is going to be my smile. This is my actual image, guys. Where is the face is there? I need not to do that. There is a function is there, guys. There is a library is there to identify the face emotion recognition. It not only tells you where is the face, it also tells you what is the emotion inside that particular face also, guys. Whether it was angry, whether it is a smiling, what it is going to be also, it is going to tell you actually. So that is going to be the basic idea behind them. So how it is done, we'll see it later applications. That is done by NumPy arrays. Shyam, that is going to be done by the NumPy arrays. It is completely done with the arrays only. Okay, so that we see in the part of a deep learning. So learning a deep learning is not only learning about the deep learning, guys. We also has to learn how to work with the images, how the images are formed, what is a red, green, and blue channels, what is going to be gray channels. All these things we have to study within applications. Okay, fine, guys. So that's it for the today's class, guys, because today is Sunday. So I don't want to waste your Sunday. Please enjoy your Sunday. Okay. So now, guys, any questions? If you have any questions, you can just feel free to discuss with me. You can either use a chat panel or you can just unmute your mic and you can speak also. If anybody having any sort of questions, actually, guys.
Sir, what is document AI and vision AI?
Once again.
Document AI and vision AI.
Document AI and
vision AI.
It is going to be working with some, we actually, as of my knowledge, we don't have that any document AI and visual AI, but basically whenever we are working with some kind of documents are basically for text documents basically. So if you are working with the text, that is what we are going to call it as a text. That is a text AI. That is what we call it as a document AI. And coming to the visual AI is going to be working with images, and we are going to be working with the videos. So if you are working, that depends on your working area actually, guys. Generally, documents are we use it in NLPs. Mainly, whenever we're working with the text data, we are going to be using document AI. And whenever we are working with the computer vision projects, they are called as a vision AI, visual AI, what we call it as. Okay. But Tableau or Power BI, generally there is a small problem with the Tableau, guys, which is it's not a free software. We'll get a trial period. You can work with the Power BI. We'll work with the Power BI, Raju. Okay, fine, guys. Yes, it is completely domain specific only, guys. It is completely domain specific because data science mainly requires computer skills. It is going to be a computer skills plus which is going to be some kind of an maths and stats. The maths and stats is going to be required. Plus along with that, we are going to require the domain knowledge also. So it is going to be domain specific only. We are going to be gets working actually, guys. Okay.
Will you cover maths and stats, sir?
Maths and stats.
Will you cover in this course?
Yes, we will be covering. That means there is no separate classes for them. While we are studying an algorithm, whatever the maths behind them is there. So that particular maths, I'm going to explain them actually. So for every algorithm, there is a maths will be there. So while discussing about that particular algorithm or while discussing about analytics, we are having some statistical analysis. During that particular time only, we'll cover all the maths. There is no separate maths classes will not be there. Along with your course curriculum only, all the maths behind them, right? Fine, guys. Fine, guys. So thanks all of you guys. Hope all of you have enjoyed the class. Yes, from scratch only, guys. Everything we are going to learn from the scratch only. So you can get the whatever my details are there. No, I have been given my what are the course curriculum, starting with the basic core Python actually, guys. Starting with the base core Python actually. Everything is going to be starting with the core Python. First, initially 1 or 2 classes, I'm going to give some introduction to machine learning, guys. So what are the use cases? What generally we do? What type of learning is there? Everything. Actually, I didn't have that. I think you don't understand. I didn't show the complete course curriculum. But anyhow, beyond that, whatever you expected only, we'll get more than that, guys. 110% will get it actually. So whatever you expected, 10% to 20% more than what you expected from me, you will be getting actually, guys, because my complete expertise is on this particular areas only. Okay, fine, guys. So even reinforcement learning, generally nobody will teach you the reinforcement learning. I'm going to teach you the reinforcement learning as part of our course, but this is a little bit higher level, but at least some basic knowledge about reinforcement learning is also going to be included in our class course curriculums. Okay, fine, guys. So thank you all of you for today, guys. Enjoy your day. So hope we will see you all of you in the tomorrow at 8 p.m. actually, guys. For any further details, you can just contact Durga Soft for the further details, guys. Thank you all of you and have a nice day. Thank you all of you, guys.
Thank you, sir.